Okay, Mrs. Harper, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
I basically want to leave with the children, and he makes a lot of money. Our business makes a lot of money, but when I leave, I'm not gonna have that. So I need to keep the lifestyle that my children and I have had. They go to private school, and we have a nanny, and so I need to continue that so that their lives aren't disturbed. And we live in a house, $500,000, and I need to maintain something similar so that it's not a big adjustment for any of us.
Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions. Private school, do you all pay tuition for that?
Yes.
Okay. How much is it? If you were to break it down monthly, because I know tuition sometimes isn't a monthly thing.
It's about $1,800 a month.
$1,800. What kind of private school is it?
It's a good private school.
Oh my gosh. They teaching the baby how to drive?
Well, the baby's not there yet, but he will
Well,
be.
the 2-year-old, right?
Well,
That's still a baby for $1,800.
It's a tuitional, I mean, you grow with the school, so.
Does the tuition payment grow too?
No.
Oh, okay. So it stays at $1,800.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once they're accepted, they're accepted.
Okay, I follow you now. So if we were to break that down monthly, that's about $150 a month. What about the nanny? How much does she cost monthly?
I think he pays most of the bills, so he can probably answer that better.
Okay. Have you already started looking at other homes, other apartments, or anything like that?
Yeah, there's a couple other homes in the neighborhood that I'd really like to move into. I think that would be the least disruptive to me and to the...
This case opens with Mrs. Harper confidently stepping into court, not just to separate from her husband, but to demand the full continuation of a lavish lifestyle for herself and their children. From the start, she isn't subtle. Private schools, a full-time nanny, and a $500,000 home are just a few of the things she expects to keep post-divorce. But here's the twist. She wants all of that without working full-time. She says she needs to maintain the lifestyle to avoid disrupting the kids' lives. But is this about the children or about her own comfort? Be honest, if someone left you but still expected you to foot the bill for their luxury life, would you say yes? As the judge begins asking detailed financial questions, things quickly escalate. $1,800 a month for private school? For a toddler? The judge even jokes, "Are they teaching the baby how to drive?" It's clear Mrs. Harper has built her life around luxury, but not around logic. She deflects costs to Mr. Harper, even for things like the nanny, while not offering a clear plan to support herself. When asked if she's job hunting, she shrugs. It off? That could take a long time. This isn't just financial dependency, it's entitlement wrapped in silk. Do you think she's genuinely trying to provide stability, or just trying to keep the perks of marriage without the man?
Kids.
Okay.
So, yeah. And
would you be renting out those homes?
Basically, I would like to buy one.
Okay.
So that we can maintain the same lifestyle that we've had.
Okay. If you were to buy a home, the homes that you were looking at, what are you looking at on mortgage?
About $3,000 a month.
Okay.
But again, I would think he would need to pay the majority of that.
Okay. So you want him to buy you a home? You and the children a home?
I would call it spousal support.
Okay. All right. What about any other bills that you would potentially have to pay?
So, I think he should keep paying for the nanny and the private school.
Okay.
And, I have been only working part-time. And of course, I would not want to keep working in the business with him and these customers who are still coming around. So I would have to find a job, and that could take a really long time. So I would think he should pay everything until I find something where I can work part-time.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to him?
Well, just don't believe his excuses about these women. That's all I can say.
Oh, okay. All right. Mr. Harper?
Well, there's no excuses about any of the women. I had developed this business long before we got married.
Okay.
And we've been married a couple of years. And I've worked hard to get this business to where it is. I've got a great staff. I've got a great team of crews out there working. And one of the things that I do is I go out and I make sure the work's quality work, so I can put my name on it. Do I take care of my clients after we've put in a pool? Absolutely.
Well, your definition of taking care, is it what she's thinking? Well, your definition of taking care, is it what she's thinking?
No, I maintain contact with my clients, and they contact me if there's an issue, if they've got
He
questions.
maintains contact.
And I go out and I see those clients because that tends to give me more referral business. And I'm not having to spend as much on marketing and advertising as I would if I didn't have that referral business. So I want to make
Now comes the real bombshell. Mrs. Harper wants him to buy her a whole new house. I would call it spousal support, she says casually, as if requesting a gift, not a legal obligation. She wants him to continue paying for the school, the yai, nanny, and her future mortgage while she searches for a part-time job, eventually. The lack of urgency is staggering. She insists she can't possibly keep working in their business because his customers still come around. Is this about boundaries or bitterness? Is she asking for support or full financial control while she checks out emotionally and professionally? When Mr. Harper speaks, we see the other side. He built the pool business before their marriage, worked hard, and continues client relationships for referrals. But Mrs. Harper accuses him of taking care of his female clients in ways that cross the line. Why are they texting you from the pool? She demands. One message even includes a picture of him in the pool. Though Mr. Harper tries to downplay it, the judge isn't buying the casual, business-as-usual excuse. There's smoke here, but is there fire? Is Mr. Harper really just networking, or is there more happening in those backyard pools than he admits?
Make sure I keep in contact with all those clients.
Why are these women saying that, come over, I'm going to be laying out?
They tell me whatever they want to tell me. That has nothing to do with...
So you go join them while they're laying out?
Well, if they're out by the pool. That has nothing to do with my business.
Do you join them in the pool?
No.
Okay.
I saw a picture. One of those texts had a picture of you in the pool.
What were you doing in the pool? You were checking the depth?
I don't remember ever seeing that picture. So now I will say this: she has imagined a lot of stuff that goes on.
She has a good imagination.
Very good.
Oh.
And she does work part-time as the secretary, but her primary job is to take care of the kids.
So you agree with everything she said about taking care of the kids and everything like that?
And she does a fairly good job when she's there.
Oh, what does that?
Primarily, the nanny does all the work for taking care of the kids.
Speaking of the nanny, how much do you pay her a month?
We're actually paying her probably a little less than what we deserve, but it's probably about $1,200 a month. And
so you make pretty good money. How much money do you make in this pool business?
Well, I've been averaging about $280.
But it could be higher?
It could be.
Or it could be lower?
It depends on the market.
He's not even being truthful about that. He makes over $300.
He makes over $300? Is that true, Mr. Harper?
No, that's not true.
So where does she get that from?
Well, it's her lifestyle. She likes going out with her girlfriends and having her lunches and having her spa days and
therapy sessions.
I pay
You call your spa days therapy sessions?
No, I'm going to therapy because of what he's putting me through.
Oh, you sure it's not what your imagination is putting?
Tension skyrockets when Mr. Harper accuses Mrs. Harper of having a vivid imagination, saying she imagines betrayals and builds stories around them. She snaps back with a line that hits hard. I imagined he was a good guy when I said I do. That moment, cutting. It's clear this marriage isn't just about broken finances, it's about broken trust. We're no longer talking about just money. We're talking about emotional betrayal, manipulation, and two people who clearly feel deeply wronged. Mr. Harper continues laying out his contributions. He pays for the insurance, the bills, even her spa days, which he sarcastically calls therapy. She claps back. I am in therapy because of what he's putting me through. But is it therapy or just a cushy escape? The judge seems to question both of them. Meanwhile, Mr. Harper says he still includes her in his insurance plan and wants the kids in a safe environment. But Mrs. Harper's role in the children's lives gets shaky when even he admits the nanny does most of the work.
You through?
I imagine
because he said you are imagining all of this.
I imagine he was a good guy too, a couple of years ago when I said I do. So only in that do I have a good imagination.
Oh, okay.
So not only do I maintain the house and maintain the bills and take care of all that, I also have the kids on my insurance, her on my insurance.
How much is the insurance for just the children?
$309.
$309.
And that's important to me. I want the kids to be safe. I want the kids to be brought up in a good, wholesome environment.
Wholesome.
And she, you know,
You're not
she
even
gives
home
everything
at
off to the
night.
nanny.
Ma'am, let him speak. I gave you an opportunity to speak. He did not interrupt you while you were speaking. I promise I will get back to you. Continue, Mr. Harper.
She doesn't, she pretty much hands everything off to the nanny and requires the nanny to take care of all that. She's got a pretty cozy lifestyle. We've got a nice house. I'd like to keep the kids with me
No.
and make sure they're taken care of because she's too busy taking care of herself.
All right.
And,
but your work schedule, would that permit you to have the children on a
it would
full-time
be
basis?
difficult, but I would see it, make sure it happen.
So wouldn't it be in the best interest of the children for them to just stay with mom they've always been doing? So wouldn't it be in the best interest of the children for them to just stay with mom they've always been doing?
Well, if mom...
Here's the gut punch. Mr. Harper says he wants custody, claiming she's too focused on herself. But when asked if his work schedule would even allow him to care for the kids full time, he hesitates. Suddenly it's clear. Both parents are fighting for control, yet neither seems ready to do the actual parenting. The judge points out that keeping the kids with their mother might be more stable. Let's just stop right here. The moment Mr. Harper suggests that the kids would spend more time with the nanny if they lived with him, it exposes something deep. If you're outsourcing parenting to a nanny either way, what exactly are we fighting over here? This isn't just about time with the kids, it's about control, image, and money. And here's the real kicker. He tries to frame it as a favor to the kids. But is it really?
would stay with them, yeah, I would agree with that. But it's, like I said, it's primarily the nanny.
But you're paying for the nanny, so it would be the same difference if you were to have them. Well, no, they would be with the nanny more if they were with you.
Possibly.
So you could potentially be paying the nanny more if the children were with you. I don't think that's good for them. Ms. Harper, I have a couple of questions for you. What is your educational background, if any?
I'm very proud to say that I got my GED.
Okay.
Yes.
That's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And you were going to say something else when I asked you not to interrupt him.
Oh, well, so he's saying he wants them to have a wholesome lifestyle. Give me a break. What's wholesome about going to these women's houses when he could be at home at night? So it's not always during the day. He's not home a lot
I'm not at women's houses every night or anything like that.
But some nights.
No, not even some nights. Occasionally it happens. And their family is there as well.
So your customers call you at night for pool maintenance?
No, they'll call me at night.
Is that what you're telling me here today?
No, they'll call me at night to ask me questions about referrals, about maintaining the pool, things like that.
At night?
Sure. Usually when I go over at night, their families are there too.
How late are we talking at night?
Oh, 9 o'clock.
That's not too late.
It makes no sense. I mean, wholesome family.
Well, I agree with that. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, a wholesome family. I mean, we would have dinner.
When Miss Harper proudly shares she earned her GED, there's a genuine pause in the courtroom. That's no small feat. But then things take a sharp turn. She slams Mr. Harper's wholesome lifestyle claims, saying he's out at women's homes instead of being home with the family. It's raw, it's personal, and honestly, it cuts deep. She's not just calling him a bad husband, she's accusing him of being a hypocrite. What do you think? Is she just bitter, or is she calling out the truth? When Mr. Harper insists he's just giving referrals at 9 p.m., come on. Even the judge seems to raise an eyebrow. I mean, how many of us believe clients are really calling about pool filters at bedtime? He tries to clean it up, saying their families are there too. But it feels like a cover-up, doesn't it? Do you believe he's just networking? Or is there more going on under the surface? Then we hear it. The idea of a wholesome family. Miss Harper paints a vision of home-cooked meals, bedtime stories, and family bonding. But what does Mr. Harper say in response? We have someone for that. They've outsourced everything, from cooking to childcare. It's like this whole marriage was built on hired help, not partnership. Is this luxury or emotional neglect?
Dinner together, we would be at home, we'd be reading to the kids, playing with the kids, putting them to bed.
Should have fixed dinner, but yeah.
Ooh, so you don't cook?
Well, I mean, we have somebody for that.
Oh, so you all have a chef too?
Well, we usually have food brought in. Either I come home with dinner or pick something up, but kitchen, no, that's for snacks.
Oh, well, this is what I am going to do. I definitely think that your wife has grounds. She's eligible to receive some sort of spousal maintenance, especially if she no longer wishes to remain in the home with you. So what I'm going to do is to order you pay spousal maintenance to your wife, and it's not going to be anything that's, forever, ma'am. I just want you to understand that it will definitely be a temporary situation, at least to get you on your feet so you can look for a job, find suitable living arrangements for the children and everything like that. So first, let's start with child support. You said your yearly income is about $280,000 a year. So that would put you, even if it's at $300,000, ma'am, in Texas, he caps. So his gross would be based on $12,325.35, which would make his net resources $9,200. Now, sir, are these the only two children you have?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so $9,200.
Supposedly.
Then the ruling drops. Spousal maintenance granted. But not forever, just enough to get her on her feet. It's a clear signal from the judge. This isn't a ticket to a luxury lifestyle, it's a temporary boost to stability. Still, $4,500 in TICE. Spousal support plus child support? That's a hefty monthly hit. Can you blame him for looking stunned?
Well, that has nothing to do with me. We can review that at a later date, but as of today, that has nothing to do with me. So when we look at your income, that brings your net resources to about $8,891. You have two children. So if we multiply that by 25%, that brings your child support amount to $2,222.75. Now, your wife testified, and you really didn't disagree with her, that you testified about the nanny costing $1,200 a month. I'm going to order that you keep paying that. The private school is $1,800 a month. I'm going to order that you keep paying that. Wife also testified that the mortgage potentially for the next home will be about $3,000. I'm not going to order him to pay all of that because, ma'am, you will be working and you should be able to maintain something. I'm not going to have him just 100% take care of you. Spousal maintenance is to assist. It's not to help you just live off of him for a long time. So spousal maintenance is going to be in the amount of $4,500. I gave you a credit for that $309 with the health insurance. So that brings your monthly obligation for child support and spousal maintenance to $6,800 a month. So that brings your monthly obligation for child support and spousal maintenance to $6,800 a month, which I believe is pretty fair. I mean, you've been maintaining the nanny, you've been maintaining the private school. Nothing should change when it comes to the children. But as far as you're concerned, I do believe that part of that responsibility should be yours in terms of paying the mortgage. And I just want to reiterate, this is only temporary. So you start working, you make decent living. The children, for whatever reason, are no longer in private school, or the nanny is for whatever reason removed. He can come back and petition the court and ask for something different. And there's a high likelihood
The numbers roll in. $2,220 in child support, continued payments for the nanny and private school, and yes, Miss Harper is still expected to contribute to the mortgage. The court isn't here to reward dependency. The judge makes that very clear. Spousal maintenance is to assist, not to help you live off of him. And when Miss Harper asks what happens if it takes her a year to get a job, the judge doesn't hold back. At that point, you're just being spoiled. That one line says it all. The courtroom goes from sympathy to reality check. It's not just about what's fair, it's about what's reasonable. Do you agree with the judge's stance?
Payment of spousal support to you may be removed. So I just want to make sure I'm clear about that.
So what if it takes me a year to get a job?
Well,
Probably take her longer than that.
I hope it wouldn't take you years, ma'am. At that point, you're just being spoiled, must I say. It should not take you years to find a job. If it takes you years to find a job, that means you are intentionally not actively looking for a job. And if he comes back in here, and that is the case, I will surely make sure that he stops paying you spousal maintenance. Okay, is there anything further?
No.
You have any other questions, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay, if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
In the end, the judge warns them both. This support arrangement is temporary. If Ms. Harper isn't actively seeking employment, Mr. Harper can return to court and have the payments reduced or even eliminated. This ruling is about accountability on both sides. And with that, the court adjourns. In this divorce showdown, we watched as Ms. Harper exposed emotional absences, while Mr. Harper tried to defend his lifestyle as normal business. The judge balanced both sides, offering short-term support without creating lifelong dependence. Child support, private school, and nanny costs were all maintained for the kids' sake. But Ms. Harper's future? That's now in her hands. If she doesn't act, the help she's receiving might vanish. What do you think? Did the judge get it right? Was Ms. Harper genuinely in need or playing the system? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more courtroom drama breakdowns just like this.